Niaje mawakili. My name is Derrick Bruno, advocate of the High Court of Kenya, managing partner of Derrick and Smith LLP and chairman of the Advocates Hub. Today we are having a legal conversation with Richard Mwaniki. Uchi.
Hi, I'm Richard Mwaniki, an advocate of the law. As opposed to many people introduce themselves as an advocate of the High Court, but they practice law world over.
And I'm Kevin Otieno. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I've been practicing for 4 years. This is my 5th year.
No time.
And
pupil master.
He's qualified to be a pupil master.
Yeah.
And I'm practicing under the name and fashion of Njeri and Company Advocates.
And my name is Njeri Karanja. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I am based in Ruiru. I practice under the name and style of Ngugi Gathu and Company Advocates, and a member of the Young Bar.
So how is Ruiru? How is practice in Ruiru?
Ruiru is not a bad place.
Yeah.
It's a good place.
Yeah.
We have business there, I must say that.
Yeah.
It is not crowded like your place of business, Nairobi.
Yeah.
We experience walk-ins. We have people who come just from nowhere. They walk into your office. They give you instructions. So that is the best part about Ruiru. Then we also have a court there just outside our office.
Yeah.
So it is more advantageous to us because even those clients who just come to court and they are stranded, they don't know where they are going to get advocates from.
Yeah.
Wanakuja tu kwa ofisi.
That is sisi huku Nairobi ni CBD ni shamba la mawe. Tunangangana na kina Richi.
It is survival for the fittest.
I must say that the recent utterances by politicians have hurt our business very much. Like getting new clients, it has become an uphill task. I think they do not believe in getting substantive justice. They think that you cannot get justice if you are a pauper. You have to see the judicial officer. Lazima upene kitu. As Sheria said, they believe that there's this common utterance or speech that they say, why should I hire a lawyer and yet I can pay the judge?
Fortunately.
That's a very sad statement from an advocate. Yeah.
I must also admit that it has hurt our business because politically it's like the judiciary and the LSK and the members of the bar are targeted by the state. So if you're not doing what the executive wants or the politicians, you are labeled to be someone who is who cannot even procure justice in court. Na hiyo maneno inakuja inaletea watu shida. Ukienda tu mahali unasikia tu nyinyi ni mawakili wenye mnashinda kwa barabara mkiprotest. But we are not protesting because we are bad people. We are calling out the executive for its excesses, for disrespect to the rule of law, the interference with the independence of the judiciary. They do not appreciate or embrace the doctrine of separation of powers. Maneno tu sasa inakuwa ngumu. So, but basically we hope for the best. At least we have a working LSK council. We have working leaders. That is the president of the Law Society of Kenya, Mr. Deuri. We also have his vice president, Madam Faith Mony, who is equally fearless and very bold when it comes to defending the rule of law and the independence of the judiciary. And currently what we have been witnessing, you have seen the protest that advocates are conducting throughout the country. We had one last week in Nairobi where we were accompanied by senior advocates, LSK council members, and we believe that the point that advocates wanted to take home, it was delivered to the right people, and we hope that whatever they are trying to do, the executive, whatever they are trying to do to interfere with the rule of law and the independence of the judiciary, they are going to reconsider, and they are going to appreciate that these are independent institutions under the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and each institution has its own mandate to execute.
Exactly.
And I just want to echo what Njeri has just said, and in commending the leadership of LSK, they have not hesitated at all in standing up for the rule of law. They have not cowered from pointing fingers at the people who are trying to attack the judiciary. You know, we have 3 arms of the government which are supposed to work independently. For instance, I had the opportunity to watch the news yesterday, and there was a topic on Citizen about this issue of separation of power. And there were 2 counsel. There was senior counsel, Otieno Amolo, and there was Sheria. And then when they discuss this common mwananchi mwenye ako huku nje anasema hao wote ni mawakili, then how comes wako na points zina differ when it comes to
not a good show.
So I believe the current LSK imekuwa steadfast in championing for the rule of law, and now that we are approaching the election period, we as advocates really need to make sure that we choose the right candidates who will stand for the rule of law.
As I join my friends in the conversation, I believe, as my senior said, LSK has been very steadfast, especially in championing for the rule of law. One, we could see it during Maandamano. They came out strong to condemn those actions of extrajudicial, probably sometimes killings, and even beating of people are just demonstrating a right that is enshrined under our constitution. I remember at that time, both Eric Theory and Faith Odhiambo came out very strong, and they, up to today, they represent those people who were arrested during the Maandamanos. Under the LSK Act, it is the duty of the council to assist the government in coming up with legislation in promoting administration of justice. But then that does not mean that we should be complicit to the ills they do. We have to point them out. And it was very sad seeing the president condemning advocates and terming us as a group that is against developments of the country. All we want to do, all we want to ensure is that there is some sense of accountability, that the executive are held to champion or uphold the rule of law.
To add on what Richie has just said, for the first time you are walking on these streets of Nairobi, na unaenda unakutana na watu wanakuambia, hey, saizi hata wamama wako kwa gazeti, they are championing for the rights of Kenyans and the rights of advocates. The person who has been on the at the front line fighting for the rights of Kenyans imekuwa Faith. The Faith Mony, the current vice chair of LSK, and currently she's eyeing for the position of the president of the Law Society of Kenya. Ndio wanasema wakimwona kwa gazeti wako zile za
si vice chair, wanamuitanga vice president.
Wanamuita vice president, wanasema saizi vice president presence yake inafiliwa. For the first time, even non-lawyers will be talking about LSK. Juu ukienda tu ukutane na wamama, kukiwa kuna mahali, like for instance, I was rescuing some kids somewhere, unasikia mtu akisema, pigia Faith, naona Faith ni mtu anaweza kuja hapa atushike mkono. So those are the things we want to have in LSK, na wamama wa come out strongly, waoneshane like tuko na hiyo nguvu ya kukuwa steadfast na kuchampion for the rights of Kenyans, because it has always been men.
And I agree pia that one, when you see easy mega scandals all the time when they erupt, kila mtu uliza, where is LSK, can they file a petition? And LSK has been very steadfast in terms of public interest litigation, from ile kesi ya oil, skari, like taxes,
the Public Finance Act.
PIL as in it is on another level now.
Yes. Saizi public litigation matters are on the rise. Unaenda tu every other time ukienda kotini, you will find Faith defending someone. She's in Makadara, in the next 1 hour ako Milimani. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I must admit that we are headed somewhere.
I remember kama ile siku ile, the case of Brian Mwenda. We stayed with Faith, alikuwa hapo mpaka jioni at around 8 when we were leaving court. I don't know if you guys remember. All of you are there.
Yes.
Amekuwa steadfast sana kwa LSK.
Actually, it began at DCI when the investigations were being carried out. Alikuja, she was there with us from morning to around 7 p.m. When now the DCI had to tell us now leave, we meet in court tomorrow. So she's doing a good job. She's doing a good job.
Kama deputy wa Law Society of Kenya, Faith amekuwa si kwa mawakili tu, but even out there, ukiangalia ulize mtu, everyone recognizes Faith. Ukienda kwa Twitter, kukiwa na issue yenye imearise, any attacks that is happen on Twitter, nini, haja limit role yake kwa Kenya na affect advocates, anaangalia everything as a whole. Like kama juzi alikuwa among the first people, I think kulikuwa na statement by wakili wa FIDA. Then after that, she was the second person who came up with a statement condemning the rise of femicide, which is a recent thing that is affecting us as young people. Especially
ladies. It's very unfortunate that every other week we are having these young girls brutally murdered by their lovers in this so-called Airbnb. And Faith has given out her statement in respect of the same. So I'm sure they are not quiet. They are doing something towards that. And she will also be mobilizing female advocates to come out to condemn those acts of murdering young girls. Because even if someone is looking for love, kama mtu anataka kupendwa, ukutane na mtu, do you have a right to take away their lives? Acha tu wewe Kenya hiyo shughuli imekupeleka huko, wacha kushinda ukiua mtu. So I'm sure Faith is going to say something, and she's also going to mobilize people. We also need to have our voices heard, because today is my sister, tomorrow could be your sister, could be your daughter. And this is something that needs to be stopped with immediate effect.
Faith amekuwa hivyo ever since I knew Faith, because I can attribute to Faith, I can attribute to me being an advocate because of Faith. You remember when we started the Advocates Hub, Faith was behind it. Alikuwa the wheel behind it. We used to go to CLE, tunakuwa frustrated, all that. So we are at that particular period, the previous regime was in power.
And right now she's behind that LSAC thing. Trying to integrate students from Kenya School of Law. Now joining the bar.
We're joining the bar. Ndio kusikwe na hiyo frustration, because she experienced her frustration. Na alikuwa anatusaidia, alikuwa anatuguide, atuambia don't worry you guys, one day you'll become advocates. So she came in akatusaidia. She's actually the engine behind the Advocates Hub. So With that, I think I think she has done a very quite commendable job regarding community welfare. So amekuwa hivyo ever since.
Plus, Chair, like the current Vice President of the Law Society, Faith Odhiambo, is not new to leadership.
Yes.
She has served at FIDA as a council member
for 4 years
and as a secretary as well.
For another 4 years.
FIDA, she has served as a committee member in LSK. Ameserve kama Nairobi Rep LSK, Vice President LSK. So she has the structure.
And she is a lecturer.
Akona an age over the rest of the candidates.
Yes. Akona hiyo age.
Plus
She has, as in, it's full package experience. She knows how the ins and outs of LSK and how the LSK works.
Plus, when it comes to this recent issue in GBV, I think her role at FIDA makes her have quite a bit of knowledge on the same. That's why she can issue a statement on these recent killings. She has interacted with quite a number of cases at FIDA and helped so many people, so many vulnerable women, children. So when it comes to this issue of it's called femicide, I believe even as LSK, one of the proposal I'll give to Faith is that we should have a policy guiding on such matters.
Or even a department at LSK.
Kuina support hizo
that deals
such
with such things.
Yes, just to aid the work that FIDA does.
So that kukue na vile watu wanaweza liars.
Yes.
People from LSK wana liars na people from FIDA na wana come up na policies zitasaidia kuleta hizo ni chini.
Her expertise in such matters can be attributed to her service at FIDA. I'm sure she interacted with such matters and she has prosecuted so many matters touching on women, children, advocating for the rights of women, children, and other vulnerable members of the community. So I also feel that it is very important to have such a department at LSK that will be liaising with FIDA to make sure, just to feel that they have a backing of the Law Society of Kenya. Because remember, those advocates at FIDA, in the first place, they are members of the Law Society of Kenya. So they need a backing from LSK.
And probably just to show her prowess in leadership, her work in the current council. Like if you remember the previous council, how it was, there were constant fights. They had tarnished the name of the profession, but right now there's a lot of stability. The council as it conducts itself,
council imetulia, ina maneno.
Hakuna chaos. The previous regime, watu walikuwa wanajua, ukisikia tu LSK imetajwa, unajua tu the next time unasikia vita. Vita, utaona kwa TV watu walirushiana viti, watu walipigana.
I think ilikuwa ni kama kishasikia tu LSK kwa news,
unajua
tu ni kumfu, nikatumeenda kuna resolution mara.
Watu wanapigana. It used to be bad.
But now LSK iko stable. Stable.
I've had the benefit of being an advocate since 2019, and nimekuwa time ya different leadership. Hii so far imefanya the best job.
Yeah, the council has really performed.
It is stable, it is united.
Hata sisi young advocates ametupatia opportunities here and there, anakuambia anakushikilia.
Hata kulipia young advocates PCs. Wamekuwa wanashughulika, ukienda kotini, maybe you have a matter, unaogopa hata kwenda kusubmit because you don't have a PC. Ukipigia Faith tu anakusort. Like me the first time I didn't even know Faith. Nilikuwa na shida. Every other time I want to download my forms zinakata. So mi nikashangaa nitatoa wapi namba. So mi niliingia tu Advocate Hub nikaona tu wacha nitafute namba ya Faith. She didn't even ask me my name. Aliniambia nikusaidia aje wakili. Nikamwambia I have a problem here. And she came through for me. Actually, she's the one who was reminding me to download my practicing certificate in the portal. Then also remember, saizi unlike your time, hiyo kitambo, mlikuwa mnangoja, mnaenda kupanga line hapo. These days we are having those practicing certificates
you don't
in our
even
portal.
have to go to Gitanga
And even
Road.
the waiting time is reduced. You make an application today, within 5 days you have your PC.
Yeah, everything is digitized.
So everything is digitized.
Digitized.
She championed for that.
Our council ikawaive ile payment ya good standing.
Good standing, basically.
Unajua Faith
wakati wetu tulikuwa unaenda una apply, then you take the forms there physically. Yeah, then hata ikikuja haupati communication. So ni wewe, you have to make a follow up every now and then.
Kila saa unakimbia.
Imetoka then unaenda unabeba the blue document. So hiyo blue document utaenda uiweke. But saa hii it's printable.
Yani kila kitu iko digital hapo. Yeah. By the way, you can even access as far as 2022 you can access
your PCs
online. Ziko online zote.
Plus kitu ingine wame champion for in terms of even it goes way much into mentorship. Ni for the young bar. Right now, many young council are doing PILs. They group you up with a senior, and you wanakupea brief. You go do a public interest litigation.
You know, Faith understands the plight of young advocates by the virtue that ni lecturer UN.
Sure.
Yes.
So ana understand. That's why ana push hizi reforms za young advocates here and there.
Alafu unajua pia Faith champion and negotiated for a cover for advocates inaitwa Bupa cover, and I understand it has 100 membership, people who have subscribed or who have taken out the cover. You see, that is the reason why every other day wakili akiwa na shida ama mtoto wake ama bibi yake bwana yake tunakuja kwa WhatsApp group kuchanga. But now Faith wants to do away with that. Wanataka kunegotiate advocates to have a cover that is going to cover the nuclear family, ndio vitu kama hizo zikikame up hautaenda huko kuchangisha. Unaenda tu, it is very cheap. Already we have 100 advocates who are members who have taken out that cover, and I hope as she's going to ascend to that other big position of the president of the Law Society of Kenya, they are going to even reduce the amount for subscription. Ndio even those who are joining the bar and they are not yet very stable in the profession, waweze hata hao kutake out those covers na waweze kujisimamia nazo. She's doing a good job. And also the mentorship programs that she has initiated during her tenure.
Plus when it comes to that Bupa cover.
Yes.
The main challenge watu wanauliza, why couldn't she probably negotiate for a cover kama ya Jubilee or this other insurance? Yes. One, the only reason is Bupa gives you a wide range of benefits.
Yes.
One, it is world over. It covers you in many health centers all around the world, except USA.
You can even go to India for medication.
So the reason why the reason behind that Bupa cover ilikuwa because of time after time unasikia wakili is terminally ill. Wacha tuchange 10 million
tumpeleke India. So that one will cater for that Bupa cover. It has a wide range of benefits.
Polisi yangu.
Si ndio?
Na that cover imekuwa that hiyo imekuwa tu ni kazi ya
Faith.
Alafu unajua during her tenure she was able to pay for service providers. Unakumbuka during the previous regime, they inherited a lot of bills. Service providers were not paid, but Faith amekuja na aka make sure that saizi hakuna deni za service providers. Faith literally is not a man of the people, but I can say a woman of the people. Kama hiyo utaenda tu, watu wanapenda Faith.
The young bar.
Not just the young bar.
Not just the young bar.
No, I'm saying the young bar because I associate
Faith
with
as a person. Amekuwa champion for the rule of law even before the elections period. It's something that iko kwa hati yake. You know, sasa tukienda now that we are approaching the electioneering period, then we decide to vote in someone else who is a stranger to something like the Bupa cover. Then iishe hivyo. Unaona sasa dreams za watu wengi na the future yenye Faith envision ita collapse tu na probably na the new leader mwenye understand how it works, subscribe to the agenda. Different people wanakuja na different agendas. The current government of the Republic of Kenya iko na different agendas from the previous one. So kama tunataka kuendelea benefit from it, then we as young advocates need to come up in large numbers.
We need to support easy policies, easy changes that we make.
Faith, because yeye haangalii that now mimi nimepita your stage, mimi I'm no longer a young advocate, so wacha ni deal na anaangalia across.
Anarudi back.
Her favor,
I can tell you a perfect example of a young advocate whom I know. Alikuwa na he was just admitted. So vile alikuwa admitted akapata brief, a very nice brief. Akapata hiyo brief, akaenda ku represent client kwa police station. So kwa hiyo police station huyo OCS akasearch, akaona wakili status iko unknown. Wacha anze kuharas huyo wakili.
So
masquerade anamuharas, akamwambia you don't qualify to practice law.
He's not an advocate.
He's not akamwambia is not an advocate. So huyo wakili akapigia Faith. Vile alipigia Faith, immediately Faith alisort hiyo PC issue within, let's say, 15 minutes. Huyo wakili akapata hiyo his first brief.
I think I heard about the story.
Sijui kama umesikia story.
I have to what she did. She just verified.
Yes.
That give me your registration number, PC P105 number, so that I verify that you are indeed an advocate. Upon verification that the person was indeed an advocate, I'll come in all out to assist so that this advocate, as he parted the first brief, then aikose, unajua inaweza kuwa na a permanent effect. Akumbuke vile alikuwa harass, anze ku regret, did I do the right thing, did I make the right choice in being an advocate? But akipata your support, then your brief it turned out to be something beneficial to him, inampea your energy,
motivation.
Plus chap here, what I can pick up from your conversation, ni one, as you say, she's a people person. She's member oriented. She's she does this as a service, like to them, to members.
As in inatoka kwa roho.
It is not like ati she's there, sasa sisi tumfuate nyuma, like anatushe fada. But and then another thing that I want probably ina flow from ile speech ya Cherargei, ile ya kusema ati they want a council that is friendly to the state.
To the state.
That will be supporting the government's agenda.
Yes. Time over, Faith has shown one thing. She's not partisan. Yaje no mkono sijui UDA, sijui ODM, sijui opposition, sijui ruling party, no. All she's intent on advocating for the rule of law.
Yeah, she stands for the rule of law. Yeah.
Just that. And she's very objective to the cause and the mandate which she derives from Section 4 of the LSK Act.
Then Faith is also a mother. That is all I can say. She treats us like her children.
Yes,
si unajua tu hizi vita tunapigananga huku social media. Tutakuja tu rant and then atakuja tu aone Richi kuna mahali unapotea njia kidogo. Atakuja tu akupigie simu akwambie yenyewe nje umechukua you are getting out of hand na hii ni mbaya. Tafadhali rudi katika mtandao.
Na that's why wakili wengi wanamuita mama boma.
Wanamuita mama boma. Everybody watu wamekuwa wanauliza kwa nini anaitwa mama boma. Haitwi mama boma ati juu yeye ndio analinda ama anaishi huko LSK Gitanga Road. Hapana, ni juu anatu correct with love. Tutakuja tu hata mimi nione hii kitu imehappen mimi nitanyamazia Faith. Atakaa tu siku mbili Njeri na kwa nini umeninyamazia hivyo? She will always reach out.
She follows
find
up,
out ana follow up. Ananiambia kuna mtu alikukosea namwambia Richi ameniambia hivi na hivi na ameniambia ananiambia wacha nikuitie Richi na wewe ukuje, we have lunch tomorrow. Mnakuja mna iron out those differences na watu they get back on track.
Na plus kitu nimenote, see it only applies to us. Faith commands a lot of respect even from the senior council bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
She commands. She was admitted to the bar in 2011, but people who admitted even in 1986 like draw her respect. Like she conducts herself very professionally, calm, sober, and another thing,
I think that's we need soberness and calmness in LSK.
Yeah.
Ukiangalia the previous regime,
hiyo haitawaka.
Nataka tu watu wenye wametulia like the current council na wanaendelea
integrity must be.
Yeah, those people who work more it speaks less.
Yeah.
Watu wenye wako resort oriented wanafanya watu kazi
flowing from the previous regime. Unajua pili kwa rocked na wave ya COVID. So kulikuwa na COVID and then our council was just chaotic.
Yeah.
So ili drive away many sponsors. But Faith has managed to bring back these sponsors.
Yeah, sponsors.
Now
wamekuja by the way.
Actually hata she fundraised for money, alichangisha ikakuwa 50 million in excess. Alichangisha do. Amekuwa like partners have now come back. Wameona environment now is conducive, they can work
stable
with this current council.
Plus from one of hizo sponsorship deals, I know there's a program on sexual offenses that wants to train lawyers or advocates to be representing especially minors involved in sexual offenses free or pro bono as we call it.
Yeah, that's a good thing for a common mwananchi.
Yeah.
Because initwaje affording an advocate is not easy.
Do you know that is the reason why minors go through a lot? They are sexually abused but they are not able to come out because of you can't afford an advocate. Unakuja tu maybe you walk into your office, mtu anakuambia lipa instructions fees, and then this is a needy case. Someone is coming because they have been raped, they have been defiled, but again they already have a pain in their hearts, then ukuje wanze tena kuitisha pesa ingine. So vitu kama hizo zikafanywa pro bono, you will see so many cases coming up za watu wenye washaikuwa defiled na walinyamazia. Like I called Faith about a matter that was happening in Darakanidhi. In one of the courts there, I can't remember the name. This young girl was defiled na because the family of the defilers, they are well up, they are able to allegedly they are able to compromise the investigations. Sa huyu mama tu every other time anenanga kotini anapata file yake is missing, mtoto alishaharibiwa. So these people cannot even afford medication. Wanaenda hospitali, akitritiwa, then she's like, where is justice for my child? So but Faith has been able to come through for that child. She's doing something about it. I connected her to the mother. They are now in talking terms, and I'm sure that lady is going to get justice for a 5-year-old girl.
Plus another thing is that one, I practice a lot in Makadara. Kuna time Makadara things were not okay. So unapata uko na a client, probably an accused person, case in theft. But the bond terms that were being issued, they were very unreasonable. So unapata without even looking at the facts, the circumstances, the court grants a bail of 300,000.
Na mtu ameiba vitu za 30,000.
Na mtu
justice inakuwa inaccessible to someone mwenye hana means.
Mtu mwenye hajiwezi, justice inakuwa very unaffordable.
Alikuja hapo Makadara and talk to this magistrates. Because one, in a way, that move ilikuwa ni kaina wanasema it was institutionalizing corruption in such a way unapata wakieka those exorbitant
bond terms.
You'd go wanaforsa watu waende huko nyuma ombe koti yenye review shika basha yako
review.
It was something wrong, but Faith alikuja na akeka her foot down, akasema hapana, let us just do this by the law. Kuna guidelines za bail and bond. Why don't you apply them?
By the way, Makadara has been one of a kind. Huko maneno imekuwa kabisa inachemka. Lakini I think I have been there just once. But I think sanity is restored now.
Makadara
in that
is
court.
Chaotic. Kuna time nilikuwa naona niko na mata Makadara anasema yes. So who is going to this court?
Who is going to this court?
But right now things are working well. Cost lists zinakuwa uploaded, court seat, utaenda uko pateti koti ikai na kuna notice. So one thing pia ni notice na Faith Odhiambo, the current vice president
and the incoming president of the Law
Zope.
Society of Kenya.
Yes.
Nini unasahau kusema hiyo?
She's very accessible.
Very accessible.
And one thing about leadership, kila mtu anatakanga uko na access to your leader. Anytime uko na issue, you can count on calling her, reaching out to her.
So unajua what happens with police officers.
Enye unataka kushare na
the leadership.
Na si unajua hata police officers the way they treat advocates. Mtaenda tu, mtakuwa tu mahali. Lakini they didn't intend to arrest people. But by the fact that anaona Derrick amevaa suti, Derrick anakaa kama wakili, Richie, Kevo watakuja tu waanze kushika watu. Mtaenda tu huko na hata wakubalisha hata mkoe na simu mpige watu because they want you to suffer. But Faith has been coming through for people. Anatoanga tu watu, mtashikwa tu hivyo for no good reason.
People call her
you call her at 3 a.m. she will pick your call. Not that because she's eyeing for this position, she has been like that. Utampigia simu, she will come for you.
Atashika tu.
Apart from
just being accessible, she's responsive as well.
Ata respond.
Faith to respond. I've never called her Kose to respond. If she's in a meeting, she usually texts you. I'm in a meeting, I'll call you back. And immediately she comes out of the meeting, she texts.
She calls you.
She calls.
And plus, I know she wears many hats. She's a mother. She's the
She's
vice
a
president.
lecturer.
She's a lecturer.
She has been a mentor.
She's a Sunday school teacher.
The current advocates.
At times more, she takes on a lot.
Niliona hata kuna team ya football huko ana sponsor. I saw that somewhere. Anaenda kucheza ball na vijana huko kwa mtaani.
Bado yuko.
She has akona
she practices law.
Akona team ya ball bana.
Akona practice yake. She wears a big hat.
Yeah.
She wears a big hat.
I endorse her for presidency.
Hata mina Faith
I equally declare my support for Faith.
Yeah.
She's eyeing for that position of the president of LSK. She has done good things. We don't need to put these things to an end. And remember, every new leadership that comes into power, they come with new agendas. Why would we do away with so many things that she has come up with? She has put in place, like the bupa cover and other things, alafu ndio tulete mtu mwingine mpya, and those things are just going to stop at that. We have, this term is only for 2 years.
2 years.
It is a very short time for you to actually even accomplish what you promised during your campaigns. But now Faith has been in the system. She already undertook to initiate some of these projects. Sasa akiwa in a capacity of that president of the Law Society of Kenya, ataendelesha hizi vitu na ziende mbele. So I think that is the best thing about Faith. Tumpatie tu kura aendelee. After 2 years we are going to review what she has done, like we have done, and we feel that she has actually overworked compared to previous regimes, wakati hata huko unajua LSK ni nini, na huko unajua inatafanyanga nini.
We don't have
na plus one of our biggest agenda ni kurembesha pale Gitanga Road.
Yeah, she actually have initiated that. She's lobbying for construction of that LSK tower. Is it called LSK Tower? Wakili Towers. Yenyewe, because you now inaka.
We need
a big space.
That building.
Yeah, that one. If we Sunono watu wa Tanzania Law Society, they envy us. They wish that they had Faith even for a day.
We need to come.
Yeah, I even saw that tweet.
Yeah,
I saw the tweet.
They talked about the current council. They were saying, I wish we had them just for a day. They come to transform. So they cannot be envied if they are not delivering or they are not doing anything.
We need to come out in large numbers and make sure that Faith is given a chance to continue with the good work that she has been doing for the society. Yeah.